Once upon a time, in a colorful little village nestled beside a sparkling blue lake, lived a 7-year-old boy named Arin. Arin had delightfully messy hair, big, curious eyes, and a heart that was always full of questions. He loved hearing stories more than playing with any toy, and he craved adventures far more than sweets. Every single evening, without fail, Arin would find his favorite spot near the lake and watch the water shimmer under the setting sun, shining like a million tiny diamonds scattered across its surface. One evening, as he was skipping small, flat stones across the water, Arin noticed something peculiar. A tiny wooden boat, no bigger than his own shoe, was gently floating toward him. Tucked inside the boat was a small, rolled-up note. Arin's curiosity took over it. He carefully picked up the boat and unrolled the delicate piece of paper. The message was simple and mysterious, written in elegant script, to the child who still believes in magic. Before Arin could even begin to wonder what it meant, the water around the little boat began to glow with a soft, ethereal light. The tiny boat started to tremble, and then it grew and grew and grew, until it was a magnificent vessel, large enough for Arin to comfortably step inside. His heart was pounding in his chest like a drum, a mix of fear and excitement, but his feet seemed to have a mind of their own. He stepped aboard as soon as he was inside. The boat began to sail, all on its own. There was no captain, no sail, just a silent, steady glide across the water. The familiar sights of his village slowly faded into the distance behind him, and the sparkling lake he knew so well transformed into a wide, glowing river that seemed to flow straight into the sky. The air grew warmer, filled with the scent of unknown flowers and a low humming melody. After what felt like both a moment and an eternity, the boat gently nudged the shore of a hidden land. Arin's eyes widened in disbelief. This place was unlike anything he had ever imagined. The trees had faces and whispered secrets to each other on the breeze. Brightly colored fish with delicate wings flew through the air like birds. The houses weren't made of wood or stone, but of soft, fluffy clouds that drifted just above the ground. Just then, a small fox wearing a brilliant blue scarf hopped gracefully onto the bow of the boat. "Welcome, Arin," the fox said with a cheerful, friendly voice. "We've been waiting for you." Arin was completely astonished. You know my name," he stammered. The fox let out a little chuckle. "Of course we do," he smiled. "This land, the Isle of Whispering Wonders, only reveals itself to children who are kind, curious, and brave. And you, Arin, are all three." The fox, who introduced himself as Phineas, became Arin's guide. They walked together through the incredible landscape. Arin soon discovered that this magical land had its own quiet troubles. They met a shy giant who sat by a waterfall, his shoulders slumped, crying soft, gentle tears that made the river rise. He explained that people in other worlds were always scared of his size. Arin didn't see a monster. He saw someone who was lonely. He walked right up to the giant and gave his enormous leg a warm, comforting hug. The giant stopped crying and, for the first time in a very long time, a slow, wide smile spread across his face. Next, they found a beautiful bird perched on a crystal branch, looking utterly dejected. The bird had once sung the most beautiful songs in the land, but a deep sadness had made her forget her melody. She felt she had nothing left to sing about. Instead of offering advice, Arin just sat quietly beside her. He didn't say a word. He just listened to her silence, offering his patient and understanding presence. After a while, feeling his quiet empathy, a single clear note escaped the bird's beak. Then another, and another, until she was once again filling the air with her breathtaking song. Everywhere Arin went, he helped, not with grand gestures or mighty strength, but with simple, heartfelt kindness. He listened, he shared, he understood. As the sun began to paint the sky in shades of orange and purple, Phineas the fox stopped walking. "There is one last place you must see before you go," he said, his voice soft and a little bit sad. They climbed a gentle hill where a large ornate mirror stood, shimmering in the twilight. Phineas gestured for Arin to look. Arin stepped forward and peered into its surface, and he saw himself, but it wasn't just his reflection. Swirling around his image were scenes from his life, every small, good thing he had ever done. He saw himself sharing his lunch with a friend who had forgotten theirs. He saw himself helping his neighbor find a lost kitten. He saw the time he said sorry after an argument, even when it was hard. He saw himself listening patiently while his grandmother told the same story for the 100th time. "This is the real magic, Arin," Phineas said softly, his voice barely a whisper. "It's not in flying fish or talking trees. It's here. Kind hearts change worlds, little by little." The images in the mirror slowly faded, and the grand mirror itself dissolved into sparkling dust. Phineas gave Arin a nod and a final, warm wave goodbye. Arin found himself back in the boat, which was now gliding gently back down the glowing river. He felt a deep sense of peace and warmth spread through him. When he blinked and opened his eyes again, he was sitting on the familiar shore near his village. The sun had set and the stars were beginning to appear. He saw the tiny wooden boat floating away, getting smaller and smaller, until it vanished with a final faint glimmer on the water. Arin jumped up and ran home, his heart full. From that day on, his life in the village continued as it always had. He went to school, he did his chores, he played with his friends. But for Arin, everything felt brighter, more meaningful, because he now knew a secret that most people forget as they grow up. Magic isn't something that disappears. It just hides. It hides inside acts of kindness, moments of courage, and the simple, unwavering belief in the good within ourselves and others. And every single night, as Arin drifted off to sleep, the lake outside his window would sparkle with a special, knowing light, as if it were patiently waiting for the next child who believed. Thanks for watching our story today. If you loved Arin's adventure, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more magical tales. See you next time.